Hello, everybody. It's a gorgeous day in the villages, and this is Happy Fingers Level 3. We are working in book number 15, Simple Songs. Some of them are simpler than others. I think we've decided that. But in Level 3, our goal is to start putting the arrangements of the songs onto your instrument. Today I'm working on a new instrument. I'm on the Patriot. So I've got the Imperial up at the front of the store so I can show it off up in the front. And I've got the Patriot back here that I can teach on for a while. So always good to change things up just a little bit. Today's song is Memory from Cats. It is on page 60, 61, 62, and 63. And as always, I have these on Patreon, your worksheets. Some people make good use of these. Some people don't really care. It's totally up to you. It's there for you if you want it. I always will put up this week's sheet and next week's sheet. So you can pre-print it if you want, or just wait until after the class. It makes no difference, whatever is good for you. So what do we actually know about this song? It was written in 1981 specifically for the musical Cats, and it was composed by Andrew Lloyd Webber with lyrics by Trevor Nunn. It has been said that Memory is the most successful song ever from a musical. Okay, I'll go with that. The lyrics were based on a T.S. Eliot poem called Rhapsody on a Windy Night. Okay, here comes Dottie. Let's let Dottie in. Besides the original by Elaine Page, there were versions by Barry Manilow, Betty Buckley, she actually did it for the 1982 original cast recording, and Jennifer Hudson for the 2019 movie adaptation. So, nice song. I think everybody knows what this song is about. So what are some of the features? Well, the road map is one of them. So, yes, we're going to need some of these. Here comes David. Let's let him in. And the other feature that's really important in this song is learning about 6/8 time. For some of you, this might be the very first song that you have encountered with 6/8 time. So that's going to be the main thing we do. We are going to listen to some of the rhythms on our instrument and see what actually is a background that makes up 6/8 time, and hopefully it'll give you a better understanding of it so that the next time you run across a song like that, you can actually go to 6/8 time and say, I know where these are. I can find my 6/8 times, because they're not going to count 6/8 for you on the instrument. They're all going to count 4/4. Really? Yes, really. Well, the first thing we need to do, I think, before we go into that, is let's talk about the road map. So get out your highlighters, because that's the easiest way to figure out where we're going. If you follow the lyrics, it will take you exactly where you need to go. So midnight, not a sound from the pavement, da 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 da, all of page 60. At the top of page 61, let's see, my music is just a little bit out of the picture here. Okay. You have a first ending at the top of page 61. It is the entire top line with a bracket. At the end of the bracket, you have 2 dots and a thin line. So if you make that a color, I'm going to use yellow. You can use whatever you want. Now you have to use the same color so that you know where you're going back to. Now, we're always looking for the immediate dots that go backwards. Guess what? I don't see any. So if you don't have any dots that send you forward, go back to, then you have to assume that you're going back to the beginning of the song for verse 2. And they do that to save ink and paper. So if they don't have the dots there, it just assumes that you're going back to the beginning. So between the numbers 6/8 and that C dotted quarter note is where you want to make your color. Back to the beginning of the song for verse 2. Okay, now you're going to play all of page 60 and do verse 2. When you get to the bottom, I'm going to put a little colorful 2, and I'm going to trace the 2 that is the second line with the second ending. And if you need to put an arrow, go ahead and do that. so that you know exactly where you're going the second time. The color sends you forward to the second ending. Now you have an open bracket, which means you keep going. And this is the bridge part of the song. Every street lamp seems to beat a fatalistic, turn the page, warning. Someone mutters, and the street lamp gutters. I don't know what that means. I don't know what a street lamp guttering is. And soon it will be morning. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin. Okay, there's nothing that's told you to go back to anything yet. Oh, here comes Mr. Ron. Let's let him in. At the end of line 4, now you did have a 2 coda sign at the end of line 3. Remember, codas don't ever send you backwards. Codas only send you forwards. So you have to ignore it right now. Nothing's told us to look for that yet. So we keep going to line 4. And at the end of line 4, you have 2 thin lines. 2 thin lines means it's the end of a section. So you're going to take a color and mark the 2 thin lines. Now you have some instructions. DS al coda. Dal segno al coda. Go back to the silly sign. So you're going to use the same color. Ron again. Different Ron. And we're going to go back to the silly sign and make it the same color. So where's the silly sign? It's the bridge, which is page 61, third line. There's your silly sign. Make it the same color so you know that your eyes are going to follow the colors. Much easier than just looking for the symbols in black and white print. Here comes Mr. Keith. So now you're going to do the second set of lyrics in the bridge. Burnt out ends of smoky days, the stale cold smell of morning. A street lamp dies, another night is over, another day is dawning. Touch me, it's so easy to leave me all alone with my memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness is. Look, a new day, aha. Now we have the 2 coda. So find another color. Come on, Keith, I thought I let you in already. Codas always send you forwards. So now I'm going to make that another color, and the coda is the very last line in the song. So my pink is going to go to pink to end the song. Codas only send you forwards. You never go backwards to a coda. Okay, that's kind of a weird one, but it's not too hard to follow. And especially if you color it in, it's going to be a lot easier. Questions about the roadmap?
Marmalade was harder.
Marmalade was ridiculous hard. Agreed. That one was really, that's one of the hardest ones I think I've ever done. So this one's not too terribly bad, and especially because we know the song. What happens if you mess up, and if you get all the way to the DSL coda and you go all the way back to the beginning, what happens? Nothing. If you mess up, don't go, oops, I wasn't supposed to go there. Just keep playing like you know exactly what you're doing. Nothing is going to happen. The song might be a little bit longer, but don't worry. Don't worry. The only time you really need to know exactly where everything is are you playing in an orchestra? So you have to be exactly in the right spot at the right time? That's probably the only time you need to know all these markings. The rest of it is your song. You play it the way you want.
Dawn,
Yes.
is there an end to the bridge somewhere? You said where it begins, does it end somewhere, or does it just go to the end of the song?
This is interesting. With Weber, you never know. No, it ends at daylight. I must wait for the sunrise, because it goes back to the same notes, the same chords that you had at the beginning of the song.
Don,
Yes.
sorry I was late. What's the song?
We are on Memory from Cats on page 60.
Thank you.
No worries, you're allowed to be late. But yeah, where daylight is, it's page 62, line 4, that's second measure. That's where that A section starts again. Good call. Yeah. Now, why is it good to know what the bridge is? And we actually play the bridge twice in this song. Sometimes we only play it once. But it's always good to know the sections of the songs for your practicing to make it easier for yourself. Because what you want to do is practice section at a time. Section at a time. You don't have to practice the whole song and expect it to be perfect on your first go round. Usually it's 8 measures, but not always. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, it is, but 1 8-measure section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's a little bit unbalanced. But take your song apart in phrases and sections. And usually songs for some of these musicals are not always in what we would call standard pop music setups. And no worries. No worries. Oh, Ron had some storm problems. Okay. Can
Dawn,
you hear us, Ron? Yes, go ahead.
the bridge, is that the same as chorus?
No, oh no. Chorus? No. Chorus is the part of the song that you sing most of the time and you remember it. This really doesn't have a chorus per se.
Okay.
Sometimes the verse and the chorus are the same thing. The verse chorus are tied together. Sometimes you have a song where you have a distinctive verse, a distinctive chorus that you keep coming back to and singing over and over again. And then the bridge is the one part of the song that doesn't seem to match any other part of the song, and you usually only do it once. So this song you ended up doing the bridge twice.
Is the bridge ever present with when you follow the silly sign, when it goes to the silly sign?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Oh,
Yeah, on this song happens to be yes. Yeah. But see, now you're starting to think like arrangers, and that's a good thing because you're thinking about which sections are which, and that's a good thing.
okay.
Sometimes you don't have a bridge. Sometimes you only have a verse and a chorus, and that's it.
Right.
So not every song includes a bridge. So if you're looking for one in every song, you're going to be sorely disappointed because they don't all have them. But the verse, chorus, or A, B, A, that's very common. The B section is always the bridge. Sometimes it's A, B, C, B, and that's like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Don?
Mhm.
Melissa, what is the melody?
The melody is what the right hand is playing.
Okay.
Yeah, the verses, the choruses is on the bridges are just the sections of the song, and they're usually 8 to 16 measures each. The melody is all the notes that are here on the staff, what your right hand does. What your singing voice would do is the melody. Yes, a verse has a melody, a chorus has a melody, and a bridge has a melody as well. The harmony is what your chords are. That is your harmony. And what the job of the harmony is to support the melody and make it sound good. And there's usually more than one way to put chords in. But the chords that are here are the ones that are actually in the original. I am going to change a few of them, but no great shakes on that. Okay, are we understanding a little bit more about where the roadmap goes on this one?
Yep.
Okay, as long as we have that. Let's talk about 6/8 time. Is there anybody who knows everything there is to know about 6/8 time? Nope, I'm seeing a lot of head shakes. No clue. Okay. Wednesday in our in-store class, we had a song that was called We Are the Champions by Queen, and it was written in a waltz. And if you think about We Are the Champions, we are the champions, no time for losing. You know, that's not a waltz. The other one that sometimes gets written as a waltz in easy play music is The House of the Rising Sun. A lot of you have probably seen that song, and it's written as a waltz. It doesn't work as a waltz. I can make it work as a waltz, but it does not have a waltz feel. So why would they put a 6/8 time song as a waltz? Think of the 3. Waltz counts to 3. Now, this is 6/8 time, and if you put down that fraction, 6/8 does go down to 3/4 to reduce the fraction. So by the numbers, 6/8 and 3/4 should work. Doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. So what kind of backgrounds are we looking for? And by the way, 6/8 march is not the right one. So for those of you that are looking at the top where it says rhythm 6/8 march, let's put on a 6/8 march just for fun. And I'm going to prove to you this is not going to work. Swing march, 6/8. Let's try it. Oh, here comes Ramon. We'll let him in too.
Dawn,
Yes?
I have one question before you do that.
Okay.
When you say this is easy play,
Mhm.
well, what are you comparing the easy play to?
Regular standard notation music, like if you were to just download regular sheet music.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay, there's a swing march. It's called 6/8 march. Can you play memory to this? I don't think so. Yeah, so a lot of times I tell you, take a look at what this rhythm says up here and ignore it. Throw it out. Most of you will have this in song setup. And song setup brings it up to a rhythm called cat memories. Wow. Well, that is the signature background for this. If you do not have that, I have given you some ideas here, but I want to listen to why this works and why it's going to count to 4, but it's actually 6/8 time. Okay, so let's just listen to the background. If I watch this, if I watch my lights, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. How can this be 4, 4, 4 if it says 6/8? Listen for the inside beats. The inside beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you hear them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So your inside beats are the beats that we are going to use to really make the song flow. Now in 6/8 time, an eighth note gets one of those beats. So the eighth notes don't actually start till the second measure. Not a sound from the pavement. So those eighth notes get one count. If you're counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, each grouping of 3 eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each grouping of 3 eighth notes is going to equal 1 of the beats that shows up here on your counting. All right, so 3 eighth notes is going to equal 1 beat as it goes around. Your red, green, green, green. So 3 eighth notes is actually a beat and a half. Now take a look at, go back to measure 1. You have a dotted quarter note. How many beats does a dotted quarter note usually get?
Right.
3.
1.5. But in 6/8 time, it's going to get 3. Yes. Yeah, 3 eighth notes. 1.5 beats. But in 6/8 time, those 3 are going to be considered 1 beat. So you can count this 2 ways. Now, I've always told you in the past, I don't want you counting. The only reason we're counting right now is to understand which backgrounds work and why. When you're actually playing the song, feel it, play it the way you sing it, and you're going to be fine. But the trick is to get the right background, get the right music style. So you're looking for something that's going to be a 6/8 background. And if you've got the cat memories, that's the one. And I'm going to play it first line, and I'm going to count it in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you can actually hear how it's supposed to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now do you understand it just a little bit better?
Dawn, can you turn up your instrument? At least I can't hear it. I don't know about other folks.
Okay, yeah, this got hooked up 2 minutes before I actually had to start because I have a new instrument today. So I don't know if I'm in 1 or 2. I will pump it up just a little bit. Is that better? Better? Okay.
Better, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if you're counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what do you notice when I count to 4? 2 measures equals 1 measure in a 4/4 time frame.
Right.
Right? Because you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 1, 2. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 3 and 4. So if you're actually counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, every half a measure, and they're grouped in threes for a reason, so that you can count it as 1. Yeah, 6/8 time is a little bit difficult to understand, but once you understand it, now choosing your rhythms is going to be a lot easier. A lot easier. Okay, so cat memories counts to 4 here, but the inside beats count to 6. I'm going to give you a clue. Most of your 6/8 backgrounds, if not all of them, are under the category ballad. Now, not all ballads count 6/8. But the ones in your instrument, most of your ballads will help you count to 6/8, and you have to count the inside beats. Let's go to 50s Love Song. Let's listen to it. Okay. Your beats are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, but your inside beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Let's compare that to your soft and easy. Soft and easy, 1, 2, 3, 4. But what's going on with the inside beats? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's dividing each beat into 2. We sometimes call that an 8 beat when it divides each beat evenly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So your soft and easies most of the time are going to be that 8 beat or just regular 4/4. Let's try another soft and easy. Soft and easy, smooth piano 4/4, just for fun. One, 2, 3. Can hardly tell, but that's pretty much just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so smooth. Something like a soft country. Again, it's so smooth, it's just pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4. Could I play memory on that? Sure, because I could feel it. Because it's so smooth in between the beats that you could play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and get away with it absolutely fine. So some of your soft and easies, or those of you that have some smooths, you can use those and they will work for you. They will work for you as long as you're feeling the song. And as long as you're counting each beat as half a measure. 2 measures, remember 2 measures is going to equal your 4 counts. As long as you continue with that in your 6/8, you can actually use some of your soft and easies. Let's go back to the ballads. Let's try Wonderful World. Those of you that have Wonderful World, that's an easy one to hear. It's very 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could play Cat Memories on this. You just have to slow it down a little bit. Okay, so those of you that have Wonderful World, that's an easy 6/8 background to use. And the whole trick of playing any of your songs is to find the right musical style. That's the very first thing you should do, is find the right musical style. Always work left to right. Then you can choose your sounds after that. So when you have 6/8, the first place to go is try your ballads. Try your ballads. Now, what's the difference between this and a 6/8 march? Whoop, sorry, playing by elbow. If you go to your 6/8 march, which is a swing march, and yeah, I'm going to slow it down, the feel is different, but it's still counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to slow it down to 60. It actually comes up at 120. This is the feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it still has that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feeling to it. They're just emphasizing. They're not making them smooth and even. They're just emphasizing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're emphasizing different beats. So that is a 6/8 march. And you want to use that for things like McNamara's Band or 76 trombones. Those are your 6/8 marches. But that does not work for memory. Now, mathematically, you can make it work. But feeling-wise, music-wise, it doesn't sound right. And always, always let your ears be the final judge of what rhythm or music style you are going to use for the song. Does it sound like it's going to be a good one for cats? Can you sing the song to that rhythm? If you can, then try it. It's probably going to work for you. All right, any questions on ballads and soft and easies and 6/8 time?
How about doing the easy 4? What would work there?
On the easy 4, you might have to go to a smooth and not do the, I don't think I do smooth full band. Oh, you know what I would do? Here's where if you've got an easy 4 or an easy 10, and you do not have Wonderful World, go to your 3/4 guitarist. Now, I told you, waltz doesn't usually work on this, but I can make a waltz work. So on this one, I am going to go to guitars 3/4. I'm going to turn it to 180. Why? Because that is 60 times 3, and that seems to work. So now I'm going to go to 180. Come on.
That wouldn't be too fast.
Well, listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, every time it counts to 3, instead of going boom, chuck, chuck, boom, chuck, chuck, it's going to be the same. You want to make those waltz beats fast enough to get those eighth notes in the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And every time it goes around is a beat. Okay, so yeah, try using your guitars 3/4, but up the tempo to 180. And now every time it does 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, each one of those is one of your groupings. That's why they grouped everything in 3.
How about the pianist? Would that work with it?
It might. It might.
Dawn,
Yes.
okay, and song setup for the Easy 4.
Uh-huh.
The song setup list for Easy 4.
What does Cat Memories come up to?
You use the Blue Velvet at full, and then that's The Wonderful World.
It's the Wonderful World background?
Yes.
Perfect.
So the Blue Velvet is The Wonderful World background on the Easy.
On the
song
Easy 4. Okay. So do what Fred is saying is you go to your Blue Velvet song setup and it will bring you the Wonderful World background. And as we've already shown, that Wonderful World background gives you that 6/8 perfect rhythm. Excellent. Thank you, Fred. Yeah. That'll work. You could also go to your 50s love ballad in a pinch, which even on an Easy 2, it would be the Rock Pianist. And you'd put it at 60 because of the inside beats. Now the feel might not be the same, but it's still going to give you that counting. And so you can make it work. Any questions about 6/8 time? Why a waltz doesn't usually work right, but you can make it work by upping the tempo? If you ever question what kind of music styles to use for a song, if you don't have a song set up that's similar to something, go ahead and email me. I know several of you have in the past, and I will do my darndest to find some decent rhythms. And it's not that I know everything, because I don't. It's just that I work on songs quite a bit, so I can probably get to them quicker than you just hunting and pecking. But remember, it's always your ear that is the final judge. Even if Dawn says this is the right background, if it doesn't sound right to you, find something on your instrument that does. And so that is the most important thing. All right, so now we've done the roadmap. We've talked about 6/8 time. I'm going to go back and put this one on song setup. I'm going to go to my alphabet. I'm going to go to M, song setup, memory from Cats. There you are. Touch it and it turns everything blue. I now have it set up. I'm going to play the entire song. And then I'm going to go in and tell you which chords I'm changing. And we'll go and we'll do the fingering, and then we will also all play it together. But right now I want you to follow the roadmap. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. First ending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second ending. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. There's the kitty. Okay, did you have any problems following the roadmap?
No.
Not too bad. It's not too bad of a roadmap. As long as you got your colors there, you'll know exactly where you need to go. This song is not that hard once you have the right background, once you have the right music style to make it work. And your song setup, if you have it in song setup, that's probably the best one to use. If not, then try other things. As far as sounds, strings and bells and vocals are what come up on the up and the down. Oops, I did not adjust this so you could see my right hand. My apologies. My apologies. Okay. Let's go back and figure out what I changed for chords. On page 61, last measure. I am changing that last couple of notes. I am moving the D chord. They have it in the middle of the 1, 2, 3. So I am moving it over so that it is over the top of that held E, eighth note, which, by the way, we're going to cross that out and change it to a D dinosaur. So you're going to play the C chord on the 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to play a D note and a D chord on the 4, 5, 6. Cross out the D where it is. Cross out the D chord where it is too. And at the end of the measure, put a C eighth note on the third line from the bottom, or I'm sorry, the third space from the bottom. So you're going to be playing that like this. Your chords are going to be right on the money. Oops, I played the wrong chords, but it's C, D, and then the G chord on the next page. C, D on that next beat, and then the G at the top of the page. And if you have to write that G chord in, go ahead, because turning that page is kind of hard. Once you get the D and the G chord played, then it's easier. Okay.
So this is Inez, where are you adding the C note?
I'm adding the C note at the end of the measure on page 61, and I'm making it an eighth note. So it's an eighth note right before the D note that you play on the next page. D, C, D. It's a little more realistic and it's a lot easier to play, to be real honest with you.
Okay, thanks.
Page 62. I made one change only, and that is in line 2, and it's an optional change. And it's D, the D chord in line 2. Make it a D major 7 if you wish. D major 7, and that would be C sharp and D. Remember, major 7 is always the letter minus 1. And it's completely optional. If you don't want to play it, just play regular D and it's going to be fine. And that's it. That's it. Everything else is exactly the way it is here. So not that bad of a song. Simple song? Yeah, it is. But you got to understand the 6/8 time. Once you understand that and you know which rhythm to choose, then it works. Okay, let's do some fingering. Back to page 60. C4, C4, B3, C4, D5, C4, A2, C4, C4, B3, C4, D5, C4, G1, A2, A2, F1, G2, A3, G2, F1, third line, E2, circle the 2, that's a crossover, just crossing your thumb over. The E quarter note is a 2, G4, G4, D1, E2, There's two ways to do this. There's probably more than that, but let's do it this way. F3, G1, circle it. That is a thumb tuck on the G eighth note. A2, B3, C4, B3, A2, G1. Now you can either put a check mark at the end of this or you're going to do a crossover. Either one is okay because the E is a 3. You may put a circle around it. C1. The first ending at the top of page 61 is G5, A1, A1, C3, C3. Second ending, G5, G5. Low A1, C3, C3. Silly sign, where that is B2, this is a bridge, E5, B2, A1, B2, E5, B2, A1, B2, E5. The last measure is E5, D4, and the C that we wrote in is a 3. Turn the page, the D is a 4. D4, G1, G1, G1 at the end of the line, G1, B3, A2, G1, F sharp 2. Circle the 2. That is a crossover. F sharp 2, F sharp 2, A4. You might want to put a little arrow on this next G and make it a 1. You're going to scooch that right up next to it so that you have your fingers free to go uphill in the next line. B3, 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 C sharp 4, D5, A2. Let's go to the next line. C4, C4, B3, C4, D5, C4, A2. Next line, C4, C4, B3, C4, D5, C4, G1, A2, A2. Top of the last page, F1, G2, A3, G2, F1, E2. Circle it. That is one of those crossovers. The last two notes on that line are E2, G4. Second line, G4, D1, E2. Oh, shoot, I think I gave you, what did I give you over there? Okay, let's do an F3 so we be consistent. G1 with a circle, A2, B3, C4, B3, A2, G1. At the end of that held G, you can do a check mark, or you can just put a circle around that 3. We're going to do an E3, cross over. So E3, C1, G5, G5. Low A1 in the next line, C3, C3. And the coda, after that held G, put a check mark. You're going to lift your hand for the has begun, A3, G5, G5. Or if you want to do 2, 4, and 4, that works too, whichever fingers get there first. Not too difficult when it comes to fingering. It absolutely is a nice song to play once you know where you're going and once you know which background to use. It's a beautiful song, and everybody knows it, and everybody thinks, ooh, you're playing Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yeah. And it's not that hard. So this is a great one to learn. It's just a beautiful song. And do you need to play the whole song? No. If you play the first 8 measures, everybody's going to think you're a genius. And that's it. All right, next week, yeah, we are short on time. I kind of figured that would happen because we were trying to figure out what 6/8 is. That's one of the hardest concepts to get because easy play doesn't always do it in 6/8 time. All right, the next song is Misty. I will have the I'll have the sheet posted for you. If you want, I'll have today's sheet posted for you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can go to your PA, your personal assistant, or don't be afraid to email me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And enjoy the rest of the day. And yeah, stay out of the storms.
Bye, thank you.
You guys are
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Don.
you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Bye.